Hi, Mike Sutton here with Mobilitechs. We want to be your IT department. I've got a lot of great clients in the local area. This month, I'm giving the spotlight to Cocalico Community Chapel. I had the chance to sit down with lead pastor John Miklas a couple weeks ago. Here's the interview. Mike Sutton with Mobilitechs. We provide small business IT services, and I have the opportunity today to sit down with John Miklas, a good friend of mine and one of my best clients, learn a little bit more about his organization, Cocalico Community Chapel, and what they do in the community. John, thanks for meeting with me today.
Thanks for the time, Mike.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and about the chapel?
Well, I've been here as a pastor for nearly 20 years. My wife and I moved in the area in 1992 with our daughter Alicia, who was 4 months old, now is in college, and we began the process of starting a church. It was just my wife and I, and we started meeting people, found people who were interested in a new church being started. Our goal at that time was to find people who weren't involved in a church and connect with them, give them a place where they could discover things that matter most in life, find a purpose and meaning in their life, grow and develop relationally in significant ways.
And so how many people did you start with then, and what have you grown to now?
Well, at that time it was 3. It was my wife and I and our daughter Alicia. Our first small group, there was 5 adults and 3 kids, so there was 8 of us at our first small group gathering, which preceded the launch of our church. And now we minister to between 400 and 500 people on a weekly basis.
That's great. So what's the church's role in the community as you see it at this point?
Well, our role in the community is twofold. We want to be a place that introduces people to a relationship with God through Jesus. We feel like that gives meaning and purpose to life. All of us are trying to discover what's my life purpose? What's the point of living life? I don't think anybody wants to go through life and come to the end and say, what was the point? We want to do something that matters. And so we believe that introducing people to their creator, their maker, is part of what gives them purpose and meaning in life. We also believe that when we discover that, and we discover who he is and a relationship with him, then that gives me meaning and purpose as I go out into the community. We have a strong commitment here at CCC to move into our community to identify needs, whether that's me discovering a need that a neighbor has, an elderly neighbor who needs me to clean out her driveway or help her with things that need to be taken place, a friend who's going through a difficult time and just be present with them. We also do this on a community basis. We have a large community, adult retirement community in the area that we serve. In the springtime, this spring, over 50 yards of mulch, 100 people just serving in that community, and we do things for them all throughout the year. So our goal is to identify needs, move towards those people, and to share the love of God that we've experienced with them, and then hopefully to be able to not only show that to them by our actions and our work, and then hopefully explain that to them in our words.
Great. So you've got a relatively young congregation. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the congregation, and if somebody's new to the area or if they're at a church and they're thinking about moving, what are the things they should take into account, and what should they know about your church that they need to be thinking about it when they're making those kind of decisions?
Well, one of the things I say to people who are looking for a church is you're never going to find a church that has everything you're looking for. You just won't find it. So I say to people all the time, make a list of the top 10 things that are important to you and your family or your kids, and if you can hit 60 to 70% of those, then that's probably a win, and that's a place you should check out. We are a church that has a strong commitment to not only families but to children and students. We have ministries that begin in infancy and move all the way up through high school. So we have a strong commitment to the family and helping them grow, to marriages, helping them be cultivated. We also have a commitment to be a part of our community, and so we have various opportunities for people to serve and be part of the community. Our worship gatherings are places that are full of energy and contemporary, relaxed. You come as you are. We have a great time. We enjoy laughing together and using very culturally relevant means to introduce the messages that we believe are life-changing.
I know you got a lot of growth going on. You just renovated the upstairs of this building for a youth center. You've got a project underway to get a new building built for the church. Do you want to talk about the future and where things are going?
Sure. As you mentioned, we've renovated our offices recently for our students to be a part of that. Several years ago we purchased land in the area, a farm that we hope to one day down the road be able to build a future facility. We've paid for that land, and now we're in the process of raising funds to be able to build on that land. In these economic times, we want to do it in a careful but intentional way. We want to take some steps of sacrifice and faith, but we also want to make sure that we can plan for the future in terms of ministry and making a difference in this community.
Great. And we were having a little bit of a conversation before about the core values of the church and how that influences your ministry. Let's go back and revisit that.
Well, one of the things we work hard at doing is being very intentional and have all of our activities connected to our purpose. We believe our core purpose is to multiply devoted followers of Jesus. So as we look at all of our activities related to a facility, related to what we do on Sunday morning, our children, our students, our adults, we drive all of those activities and don't just say, is that a good activity? We ask ourselves, does that help us accomplish our purpose? That's the things that really motivates us. We want to introduce people to Jesus. We want Him to be the most important person in their lives. And then as that happens, to go and share that with others. And so we try to connect all those activities to that core purpose. We're not a church tied to tradition. We try all kinds of new things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they bomb, but we're willing to give it a shot. And we're willing to try anything that'll help us move that purpose forward.
Great. Is there anything else you want to share this morning?
Well, I think the only thing is that if you're looking for a place that's going to challenge you, if you're looking for a place that will help you develop relational skills, if you're looking for a place that will help you connect to the things that we believe matter most in life and give your life a meaning and purpose, we'd love to have you come check us out on Sunday morning.
Great.
9 o'clock, 10:45, Gaiman's Mennonite School, or you can check us out at CocalicoCommunityChapel.org.
Absolutely, and we'll get all that contact information up on the website. Thanks, John. Thank you. Bye.